Working more. Who cares about bachelor boys?
Okay, bachelor boys in the UK,
Boys
up for grabs.
Yeah, I'm up for grabs. Now cover me.
Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Esther Sunday CG, and I know there are new people on the channel today. I'm going to tell you all about it in a minute. Today we're going to be having an interview session with these people here who will introduce themselves in a bit. They are my friends, by the way, but we're going to talk about that in a bit. We will be talking about life in the UK, what brought them to the UK, how they've been navigating in the UK, and the various pathways you can, come to the UK through. So stay back, sit, and enjoy. Don't forget to grab popcorn, by the way. Okay. All right. So welcome back, guys. Straight to the interview. Guys, can you introduce yourself? Ladies first.
Okay. Hi everyone. My name is Oyin and I am a working mom. So I'm married, I have a daughter, and I have a full-time job as well as a side hustle. So yeah, that keeps me busy.
Meanwhile, we call her Rich Auntie because guys, wait for it. We are coming there. What about you?
Hi everybody. My name is Tolu Davis. Olorunmoteni. I am not a working dad. I don't have a side hustle. And I'm not rich.
He's an eligible UK bachelor. Guys, send me your your invitation.
Eligibility on fleek.
Look, this guy is 7 feet tall.
And what
how tall are you? How tall are you? Just tell us.
It's just 6 foot actually.
Hey, 6 foot what?
No, it's just 6 foot.
It's
the Lord's doing, and it's marvelous in our sight.
Right. When people are like 5 foot, 4 foot, 6 foot, people are like, it's just 6
But I've been praying for a few more
feet.
inches. I've been praying for just 2 more inches.
God will not give you a few more inches because some of us we can't be intimidated, guys.
Is your God my
body
God?
Positivity. Okay, anyways, before we continue, what would you define as Japa? Who wants to go first? What is Japa?
Japa is you get out of the situation that you're in. So
fast.
Yeah, so like leaving where you are and moving pretty much to like a new place, a better place.
Yeah. The reason why I've asked this question is because in Nigeria, a lot of people say Japa, and it would be good to give like context to it, right? So that's Oyin's definition of Japa. Tolu, what do you think?
I don't have a better definition other than do it right now. Like
No.
Fly.
Well, I think that a general definition of Japa, for those who are not Nigerians and you're watching this, is like leaving your country to another country for better economic opportunities, you say?
Yeah.
And doing it really fast because, guys,
time is of the essence.
Time is not waiting for no one, okay? Let's move straight into it. So, Oyin and Tolu are in the UK right now. We are all in the UK, and I thought that their experiences would be really, really useful for anyone who wants to come to the UK or is in the UK already and navigating, life and different parts. Tolu, before we go into how you came into the UK, what is the strongest culture shock that you experienced when you came in?
I thought the food was horrible.
Cut. Oh my god.
I just honestly thought, what is this food? It's interesting because before then, I mean, I've traveled a few times.
Yeah.
But when you travel, you literally, I'm not a foodie.
Yeah.
So I try the food that I want to eat.
Yeah.
So I don't travel and then I'm looking for new food. I don't care.
Yeah.
Give me pasta, give me rice, and I just go. Come to London, find good corners where I can eat things that sound very African and Nigerian.
Yeah.
But here you are stuck. And I was in Sheffield, of all places. There were limited African options by the time I got here. So I tried everything. The bread. Without sugar.
Let's not lie. That one.
So it got you, right?
Honestly, I used to go and buy Abuja bread in African store. Let's not lie.
I was stuck there. So the food.
Yeah, true.
I miss Agege bread. Oh my god.
Now I live in front of Agege bread. There's literally an agege bread company where they bake
Tolu.
agege bread all of you eat.
Yeah.
The agege bread all of you eat is literally baked 5 minutes away from my house.
I thought we were friends.
So I ate it fresh.
Clearly.
I ate it
Clearly.
fresh.
Hey,
I thought we were not
God.
friends.
Agege bread and we are going. Oh my God, I miss it.
Welcome
Okay.
back.
Well, it wasn't my first time living in the UK, right? So I was here for my master's. So I would say that the culture shock when I came for my master's was Oyinbo people, like, if you just look at them, they'll just smile. They have that, they'll just be like, hey, mama, I'm like, why is my life doing like, did I do anything to you? So I would say that was a culture shock because I wasn't used to people, like, I'll just
Smiling unprovoked.
make eye contact with somebody and then the person will just do, and the person will not walk
And
away.
and it's like 2 seconds. Like,
Yeah, so I was like, okay, but to be honest, now I find myself doing it
yeah.
where I just see black or white or
Yeah.
I just and I'm like, oh my goodness, like I'm actually doing what?
But I think it's a nice thing though.
I think it's a nice gesture because
I
I
love
remember 2 days ago now, there was like maybe on the train or somewhere, I don't know, but this woman, she just did like this. And I found myself doing back to her. I'm like, wait, what happened? Like,
You just said hi.
I think there's that positivity
it's just-
and that
it's just
smile
like-
and
exactly.
and stuff like that. But yeah, absolutely. What my own culture shock, I think the first thing that shocked me was the weather, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, because when I came in, I'm just like, Taloshi free Gillespie.
No,
I had that as well.
I felt that way about the summer. Because I'm like, is this really summer?
I know, like the sun is there. It's like light in the fridge.
Bruh.
I know.
But the sun does some.
It felt like there was
Yeah.
like an air conditioner in the atmosphere. It made like, and I'm like, what the hell is happening? Because in Nigeria it's like what 35 degrees.
Yeah, it's hot.
You know, and it's really hot.
And you
like,
love it.
And you love it, and you're used to it.
But my skin is grateful for that right now.
I know. Yeah.
I mean,
When you look at
if you think
yourself,
I'm black, if you think I'm black right now,
You should have seen me in Nigeria.
Look at me. If you think I'm black right now, you should have seen what the Lord has brought me through.
hey, God, thank you.
Hallelujah.
All right, hallelujah. Let's move on now. So, Oyin, let's start with you. What were you doing in Nigeria before you decided to relocate?
Ah, okay. That's a
was a
loaded
baby
question.
girl.
I know that. Soft life. Soft life.
She was
No.
a baby.
Okay, I was working in flour mills of Nigeria, right? I was in the marketing department. And then we moved to the US first. So we moved to the US August 2017.
Yeah.
And then we now moved to the UK September 2018. So yeah, I was working. I was earning a salary. So it wasn't
But
like
you
I
were
was
eating your
I was
parents' money.
Yes, I was still at home.
Trust
so
fund.
we got married in August. We moved to the US in August as well. So yeah.
Okay. Well,
For me, I was working
Yeah.
in public relations at the time.
yeah.
But majorly doing events.
Yeah.
So I used to be proud to say that I led the PR campaign
Hey.
for
Drum rolls for who?
And that was in 2018. I mean, it wasn't just me; it was my company, but I was the key contact person for my company at the time.
Guys,
Nice.
upcoming artists, you never know. We now do it international.
Holla at your boy, man.
PR.
So I
Okay.
was literally working in PR at the time, and my
Yeah.
night job was as a broadcaster. So I was a sports broadcaster on radio and TV.
Wow,
Wait.
nice.
Wait, what club do you support?
Real Madrid.
Okay.
Okay,
Real Madrid.
okay,
I mean, you
okay.
cannot beef Real Madrid.
no,
You just cannot beef Real Madrid.
it's okay.
Okay, exactly.
It's okay. Okay, the next question for you is, Tolu, you came into the UK via admissions,
Yeah.
right? How did that go? What led you to making that decision to
I was
leave Nigeria?
depressed.
Out.
I was depressed.
Depression is not something
Yeah,
to
I was
talk
depressed.
about.
It was
Talk to
shortly.
us, yeah.
It was 2019. I'd lost my 4-year plus relationship,
Yeah.
and then I walked into 2020 trying to start a new one,
Yeah.
and then it failed. And then my father got sick, and then down the line my father died.
Sorry.
And so
yeah,
I buried
well,
my father. It's alright, thank you. And so I buried my father, and then there's COVID, and everybody's out of work. and I spent all my money trying to get my father fine.
Oh
Wow.
And now I'm broke, and the person I spent all that money on is dead.
Oh, sorry.
And so I'm looking at my birthday like, what the heck, man?
Yeah.
So, and this was September 2020, and I just began to apply pretty much 10 days before admissions closed.
Wow, that's a really short period.
I had no plan. I was always the guy who thought there's money in this country.
Where in Nigeria?
Yeah. I'm going to stay back here, make my money, and bounce. And go travel when I want to, just go on vacations. But I never thought I was going to leave Nigeria. But that happened, and I was terribly depressed. I just applied for the sake of it. I had no money stashed up anywhere. I had no savings anywhere. A month later, I got an admission, and I'm like, okay, Holy Spirit, what next? It says move. January, I was off.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it wasn't a thing I planned. I just woke up one day and decided, all right, I always wanted to do sports anyway. So, yeah, I'm just going to apply for sport business masters degree.
Yeah.
I got it, and I moved. And that was it, really. There was no planning. I didn't suffer. I didn't try several times. I rejected. Nope.
Yeah.
First time, got it, bounce.
Nice.
Hey, talent.
Nice.
It's not like that, though. Not like that.
I think, but what is even like important to note there is that you made up your mind at some point that look, I need to go,
I'm
because
done,
that is really key. A lot of people are like, I want to jackpot, I want to leave this Nigeria, but they're not actively planning to leave. They're not taking the steps.
Yeah.
It's like I listened to one of my Todd's messages, and it's like, well, you sing break every chains. The chains will not be broken by you singing alone.
You have to do the action.
You have to make choices that will break those chains indeed.
Absolutely. It's
Right?
it's like wanting a six-pack, but you're not doing ab
Doing, yeah,
workouts.
true.
These things do not come by prayer.
They
and
don't
fasting.
They don't.
You walk.
That's the wrong example. I'm a fit family only in my head. I can't go to the gym. I'm just hoping that,
That you just miraculously wake up one
use
day
another
with the
example.
figure eight.
Stop. Well, we've got
Doesn't
figure
happen like
eight. We all know that,
These women do too much. These women do too much.
Oh my God. Okay. Oyi, what about you? At what point, I know you got married and then you moved, but what was the point for you people as a family?
Yeah.
What led you to saying we need to leave now? Because you got married in Nigeria. isn't it?
Yeah. Okay, so it wasn't, I would say that when we left, that was 5 years ago now, it wasn't the wave of jackpot like, oh, everyone's
like it is
leaving,
now,
let's
yeah.
go. My husband said he wanted to do a PhD. And
Yeah.
he said he wanted to do it abroad. So it was a case of, okay, you want to go to school, Abby? All right, let's go. So it wasn't, oh, we needed to get out of the country because the country was really bad. Yes, it was bad then, but it's not as bad now. Do you get it?
Yeah, it's worse now.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. So it was more of his decision to want to do a PhD that made us leave Nigeria.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it was a family thing.
Yes, it was more like, okay, you want to do a PhD, we're getting married. Oh, yeah, let's just be going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Sweet. Cool. Now let's come back to you, Tolu. So you came into the UK.
Yeah.
Studied, and we had a discussion earlier. By the way, Tolu finished with a distinction. Efiwe.
Oshano.
Hey, Efiwe, so strong.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my God, guys, sorry, but we've got a lot of characters here today, so you have to just put up with
Me,
it.
I'm 3.
Okay, what was life after school like for you?
Was tough.
And are there privileges that you were enjoying as a student that you no longer enjoy now? But before you go to that, let's just start with where you are now. You are working now, so what do you do for work? And then take us back to like life after school.
All right. At the moment, I still work in PR.
Yeah.
If you don't know, PR is public relations.
Yeah.
And I do corporate communications, which is boring compared to what I was doing in Nigeria.
Yeah.
Which was more
Yeah,
events and it was
I know,
live.
it was
I had all the tickets to the biggest events every year in Nigeria. In the UK, nope. I'm just doing tech things up and down.
Let's buy O2 Arena tickets.
Exactly. and solving crises every now and then, which is very boring. But that's what I do now. How did I get here? And the other question was, is there anything I enjoyed as a student that I no longer enjoy?
Yeah, like
absolutely not.
Tell us.
I was looking forward to graduating.
Really?
As a student, I was broke. I was working 20 hours a week.
Yeah.
Like I told you, I didn't have money stashed up somewhere when I was coming, so I was paying back loans that I borrowed from family and friends and everything.
Yeah.
Wow, okay.
And I was working hard in school.
Yeah.
And I was cautious of the 20-hour limits.
Yeah.
So I was broke, literally.
Yeah.
I was living on, newsflash, £50 a week.
Oh.
My transport and my feeding was within that whole thing. So every other thing I made with market loan repayment, it wasn't funny.
Okay.
I didn't buy a thing for myself. I came with some ragged looking jackets and everything from Nigeria that I bought from Yaba. I was wearing my thing.
You know that Yaba Phase 2 market.
Look, my jumper became like this because I started working out and my chest was expanding and my jacket went from here to here. I was wearing my thing like that.
You're like,
For like 6 months.
Oh my God.
It was embarrassing, but I couldn't be bothered.
Yeah, you had
because
to
I had a lot to pay back.
Yeah.
My master's literally cost me 25k pounds. It's a lot of money.
It is, yeah.
Even if you were saving money, it's still a lot of money.
Yeah.
So I literally had to pay a lot of money back. So I didn't have time to flex.
Yeah.
There was no relaxing. There was no
Yeah.
chilling. I was
Yeah.
doing every sort of odd jobs ever. Before I came, I think I overestimated the 20-hour thing. I thought you could apply for some corporate work.
Okay.
Nobody gave me work, man.
Yeah.
Mofobo. I did all the hustle. I worked in warehouses, I worked at stadiums, I worked at COVID test sites, I worked everywhere. I worked at restaurants to save up money and pay back my debts and pay my tuition and everything. So it wasn't funny. So I was looking forward to when I can get out of that 20-hour a week bracket and actually earn more money. So I can pay my debts off faster and relax. Which I'm finally doing. So it wasn't funny.
Guys, when you see this guy,
wasn't
just
funny.
bill him. Bill him. Bill him.
Bill and Belinda Gates.
So let's just follow up on that last line, right? Of like, now you're out of the 20 hours box and you can work more. What are the good sides of, other good sides of not being a student anymore and still being in the UK? And
obviously you don't have more money. Obviously you cannot get girls.
Okay,
it's part of life, right?
You have more opportunities
there are
now.
more opportunities
in terms of like relationships, money. Okay.
I'm not putting myself out there looking like one rich man. Me, no, I'm
Build this guy. Build this guy.
I'm still in the trenches.
We all heard him saying, I'm comfortable and okay, eligible bachelor has money. Yeah.
until he has a wife to take care of and she wants a tote bag.
Hey, there's Vista Village now.
Exactly.
Only is you don't share your personal shop. Free your business now. Personal shopper, just use our designer bags.
If you're looking for anything luxury, shop with Oilolus.
Lingerie.
Yeah, shop with Oilolus.
Link in the description.
Stop.
But you said you advertise.
Stop selling to our business. Hey. Yeah, we're going to link Oyin's business page in the description box. So patronize her.
Thank you.
She sells like luxury stuff.
I have nothing to sell, but I can sell myself.
Eligible bachelor for sale. Okay, let's move back to Oyin. Oyin, so you came into the UK, you got married. This was after you did your master's, isn't it? So you came back to the UK. Now you came on a dependent visa, isn't it? So you didn't come through school.
My husband was in school.
Yeah, your husband was in school. Then you had to use a dependent visa. So you started working because of the dependent visa. Yeah. So tell us about that. Did you have any restrictions?
No.
What was it?
Okay, so when we came, so we moved to the UK September 2018, right? I started applying for jobs immediately, pretty much, but I didn't get a job till 6 months after. And but I wasn't restricted in any way. Like I was because like I had already worked at flour mills, I had my marketing experience, that kind of thing. Even though let me just note, my master's was in corporate communications and reputation management. I didn't use the corporate comms masters, to be honest, in Nigeria. And then I got here, and then I was applying for marketing jobs, but I wasn't getting any because it was always the case of, yes, you have marketing experience, but it's not UK marketing experience. I was just like,
it's a
how am I supposed to get UK marketing experience if I don't give you a chance? And then, by a stroke of luck, a friend of mine moved from Nigeria back to the UK as well. And in like 2 weeks, she had a job, and I'm like, what's going on? Like, how did you get this job? Yeah. And then she said her company was recruiting as well, but that is PR. That, are you interested? I was like, well, let me do right now. Let me just get a job. Do you get? So that was how, with my corporate comms masters that I hadn't used, I then now started using it for my job.
PR.
Yeah.
Okay. Sweet. As you guys can hear, we are all PR professionals.
Yeah.
You know.
For now.
You know. For now.
Your own is for now. My own is long term.
I'm about to japa
into
sports business.
Sports. Is it sports PR or just like sports?
Some sort of PR is part of it.
Yeah. Okay.
But more like talent management.
Okay. Sweet. Okay. Let's talk about like getting a job and then, you know, what the labor market looks like for fresh school leavers. What was the experience?
Do you want to go first or me?
No.
Alright, it was tough. It was really tough. I didn't get any. I got one opportunity one time, but it was revoked because clearly I only had 20 hours on my visa at the time. And they're like, oh, sorry. I'm like, man, I'm done. Literally, I'm done in 2 months. Then I can apply for this new thing that the UK government does, which they call post-study work visa. If you don't know, just Google it.
Yeah.
And
nobody
was giving me anything.
Give us a quick.
Oh, sure.
So after school, you get to apply for 2 years post-study visa, which allows you to stay in the UK if you don't have a job that sponsors you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It cost you £2,000, by the way.
Yes.
Let me add that part to it.
Yeah, true.
It came from my pocket. It came from my pocket. It wasn't funny. You know, and at the time it was a struggle. So literally I was doing everything. Taking all manner of shifts. I swallowed my pride. I knocked on the restaurant's door. They let me come work with them. So before I got a proper full-time paying job, even though I was now done with uni,
school,
I didn't get anybody to give me a chance. So I was working at a restaurant as the guy who washes the pots in the kitchen. But I mean, not pretty, right? I'm literally exposing myself like this. Not pretty. And I did that for a few weeks, and I began to apply, and that's where I finally got a job. So, but the trick is, I knew the big companies were most likely not going to hire me because no UK background, which is what Oyin equally alluded to. Most of them always say, oh, you don't have the UK experience. But I know that startups don't care. I know that startups just need people who can do the job. People who really want to do the job. It doesn't really matter if you have the UK experience or not. So I changed, and I just went on LinkedIn, and I made sure that every single company I applied to doesn't have more than 50 staff.
Okay.
So I was looking at 50 and below, and I began to target them strictly. And I was getting pickups. And there were conversations, how you doing, but the stopping point up until that point was, your visa, okay, when you have a new visa, when you have a post, because they cannot sponsor. I know they could not sponsor. I just wanted to get it. I'm like, but I can work 40 hours now. I'm done with my regular school work. No. Then finally,
was this with your post-study visa?
Before I got
my post-study work visa.
Okay.
And one of the companies that took a chance on me, which is the company I still work for at the moment, simply said, all right. So I said, I will apply for my post-study work visa in 3 months because I still have 3 months on my current visa. But at the moment I can work 40 hours a week because I'm done with school. Like, oh, that's fine. And they took me on. And I'm like, oh, that's new. And I jumped on it instantly. And trust me, I waited till a day before my visa expired. Before I applied for post, because I was not under pressure anymore.
True.
So that's one thing you should target. In Nigeria I did the same thing as well when I was job hunting. When I was moving into PR newly, and it was difficult, I began to target startups. So when you come to the UK, the big companies are nice, but your chances of getting in as that person who's not in tech are really slim. If you're in marketing, communications, business management, and all that stuff, it's really difficult to get in. So you might need to find other routes. So try startups. It might work for you. It worked for me. So it certainly worked for these women as well, I'm sure. Even though they may not have imagined that was what they did. That's actually what they did. And
honestly, I wouldn't say that's what I did. I wasn't targeting like startups or stuff. I was literally like just applying.
I was just applying everywhere.
But it just so happened that the company that hired you was a startup.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
even though you may not have considered the fact that it was actually that thing you did.
Yeah.
That was
but it actually was.
No, but I had offers from other people as well.
You're a big girl. We can't
I think what I believe is like just shoot your shots.
Yeah.
It's a game of numbers. Like keep applying. You never know where it's going to come from.
Yeah,
that's one strategy to use, which I've never heard about it before, and I think it makes sense. Like just finding startups and those small companies to just get into. But then I'm just a believer in you never know where it's going to come from. So just shoot your shots. Like apply, do all the interviews, prepare yourself, and then God will just use that to bless you, right? Okay, let's move over to you, Oyin. You started working in the UK. There's no restrictions on your visa.
No restrictions,
40 hours and stuff. But for you, when you came in, you had a baby, didn't you? And then you were not working. So how were you able to like manage family life and working, with a kid? Tell us about.
All right, so when I was job hunting, pretty much she was at home with me, my daughter, right? And then when I got the job, I then had to look for like a childminder or a nursery. We found a childminder, but it was a bit too far from our house. We didn't have a car then, so it was like that it would be a bit stressful to be able to take her in the morning, get her back in the evening. So we found a nursery on campus where my husband was in school then. So the good thing about that nursery was that they offered discounts for students. So that definitely helped, because childcare in the UK, in the US is expensive. So not like it was now cheap, but it was not as expensive as if we had found another nursery that was outside campus. So I put her in nursery full-time meaning 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday to Friday. She was in nursery because before COVID, right, I was going to the office Monday to Friday. So I needed somewhere where I was certain that she'll be fine. And then the good thing was that my husband also, so in the mornings he would take her, be on campus, and then sometimes I would join them on campus in the evenings. Then we would now all walk home together, or he would then take her home, and then I would go home from work, and then we'll be back together. So it was just being able to manage, saying, okay, I just want to make sure that she's fine, she's learning where she is. So it wasn't just a case of just watch her. No, she was learning as well. And then she was there throughout. She just started primary school now in September. So throughout that whole time she was in nursery. And the good thing about nursery is that they're flexible. So you can decide how long you want to keep the child there. If you want to do some days at home, then some days in nursery as well. Like, they are flexible in terms of the hours. You can do 8 to 1, you can do 1 to 6, you can do 8 to 1 Monday and Tuesday, 1 to 6 Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So it's very flexible in that you can now arrange your job to suit the childcare plans that you have, right? And then now with with lockdown and all, there wasn't that, like, obviously nurseries had closed and all, but once the nursery opened like this, I just sent her back that we'll go back to nursery because I was working from home. And then another good thing with nursery is that nursery is different from primary schools in that even during the summer holidays that primary school students are off, nursery is open.
Sweet.
So you don't have to worry about, oh my goodness, there will come a time where this child is going to be at home with me and I'm working, or I still have to go to the office. So nursery is pretty much like the entire year, only with holidays. I think
Christmas would be off, like they would close for like 2 weeks. But even then, we ourselves, we would not have taken time off because of the Christmas
so
period.
your annual leave will probably going. Okay.
Yeah.
In terms of like flexibility, you say you can maybe choose some hours in the day you want them to be there. Is the cost also flexible? Like, do you pay hourly rates, or
depending on the plan that you have, right, you would pay. So I think there's a rate per hour, but because I did full time, they just said, okay, if you are doing Monday to Friday, 8 to 6, this is the price.
So if how much did you pay?
Over time it increased, obviously, but I think the cheapest we ever paid was 800 and something pounds for a month.
Okay,
right.
So just before she went into school, now she's in primary school.
Yes.
How much did you pay?
The last bill we got before she started primary school in August 2022 was 1,500.
Can you please put a link on where I can adopt a baby?
How many years, baby? Because it depends.
When was it start primary school?
From 4 years old.
5-year-old baby.
Honestly,
oh my god,
it was no.
Yeah,
I am not born picking.
It's not. Yeah, it's expensive. Like,
how much is the salary that you are?
That's a lot of money.
Yeah, so you see,
I was talking to a few friends about this in London, and they pay over £1,000.
Yeah,
for
at
nursery.
least that now.
Over 1,000.
Yeah.
Everything, really.
I think what people do, what I've heard a lot of people do is you bring like your mom or your parents, because what's the additional cost? You feed them
But that's the thing, if your mom is working, because my mom has a full-time job, so I'm like, I can't tell grandma to leave her job in Nigeria
but
and come.
My mommy has retired.
If you have parents, exactly. If you have parents that retire,
and her husband has gone to be with the Lord, she might as well.
Like, just bring your parents over.
I would definitely.
I'm not paying that money,
Yeah, because that money you can save it. Then grandma can always or grandpa can always go and pick the child.
Excluding what you spend on feeding the child.
Yeah.
This
but they feed them in nursery.
What the child eat at home?
I just want to say, caveat, if you have more than one child and you're coming and the child is still not yet 4 years old, a nanny may be a better option, where the nanny comes, because the cost is pretty much like the same as one child. If you were to pay for a child in nursery, a nanny would do that for like 2 kids at least. So it helps. You get like, if you know that you have 2 children that are under 4 and they haven't yet started primary school, which is free for most of the children, except you now want to go to like private school and stuff. A nanny is definitely your best.
Do you mean a nanny in the UK?
Yes. So you can hire them. Some of them would either live with you or they would come and go.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
No wonder people think twice before having 3 children.
I know. That's plan this thing, because imagine paying 1.5 on 1 kid.
You get then you not come have
what?
I say I want twins. I want a twin.
So you do the thing
once and for all, and just oh my god.
If we born one and it's not 2, I'll go adopt another one. But still consider adoption.
Interesting. Anyways, let's move back to Tolu. Now, you've told us about like the labor market, how you got a job and stuff like that. What were your challenges as a student back when you were in school? And looking back at your time in school, how would you advise other people who want to come into the UK, to do their masters? But obviously that's like a JAPA mechanism, right? What would be your advice to them?
1, 2, it depends on what you want personally, but I would say prioritize. If you're coming, when they ask me, Tolu, what do you want? What should I do? I said, do you want to JAPA for the sake of JAPA, or do you want to come and study because there's a professional career path that you want to follow?
Yes.
Let us know what we are doing here.
Yeah.
If you want to JAPA for the sake of JAPA, don't just pick a course because it is simple. I say to them, pick courses that actually sell in the country you're going to.
True.
There's no point coming to the UK to come and do communications masters or whatever. Seriously.
If that's not
Seriously. If that is not your career path.
Yeah.
Right? But if you want to chase a career path, it's a hustle. But if you just want to jackpot for the sake of it, find something that is really needed in the market.
Yeah.
People talk a lot about project management. It's not a joke. If you're an engineering student, it's not a joke. If you're a science student, generally it's STEM. Congratulations to you. You can literally do anything and you'll be fine. But if you're not, your options are limited. So do a bit of research. Just see what jobs are hot in the country you are going to. Case in point, UK.
Yeah.
And see if this is something you want to do. There are certain professions that we constantly employ. If you're in healthcare, for instance, it doesn't matter if you have UK experience or not.
Yeah.
They will employ you.
Yeah.
If you are in warehousing and all them supply chain, it doesn't really matter if you have UK experience or not. They will employ you. If you are if you're into managing projects and stuff, or managing production of products or whatever, tech or otherwise, it doesn't really matter if you have a UK experience. They will employ you. So do some work if you are traveling for the sake of travel, and then decide on which course you're going to study that will easily put you in a place to get a job.
Yeah.
However, if you have a career path like some of us who were hell-bent on working in sports,
Yeah.
sure, chase your dream.
Yeah.
As I said earlier, I'm still looking to transition into sports, even though I did a master's in sports business, even though I have a distinction in it. So recruiters don't send me. They're not even looking at my... So what have I been doing separately to make my life easy?
Yeah.
Is to take on freelancing opportunities.
Yeah.
That's what you do. If possible, do a course that lasts a little bit over a year so you can do internships.
Yeah.
Okay.
Internships is a perfect opportunity to
It
get into
is.
the market.
It is.
So if you do an 18 months course, for instance, 12 months in the class, 6 months internship, it puts a UK company on your CV.
Yeah.
Instantly.
Yeah.
When you're done, when recruiters see that you have, even if it's a 6 months work experience in the UK, it helps.
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
It matters a lot.
It's good you say that, because I see a lot of people finish and they keep doing like care jobs, and I'm like,
Care
that's
is
a
not
lot
gonna
of
help you.
That's a lot of years and months
No,
you're
listen.
wasting.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because the experience, the real professional experience you have on your CV will help you in landing better jobs.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But if you keep doing care because, well, it gives you the money and whatever it is, you are not building your
You're not
professional.
really building. And
Yeah.
you can get stuck. So
Yeah.
get that part done. Make sure you consider a course that allows you to intern. It's important. Very important.
Yeah.
Once you can intern and you have that on your CV, you're good to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's not guaranteed, but it helps.
It helps
a lot.
definitely.
Yeah. So guys, that's really key, and this is something that's like also like important to me as well, because I know like when you come in, you just want to do something to get money, and that is really important. Like do care jobs, you know. I'm not saying don't do care. That's not what I'm saying. If that's the only way you can at least make money at the time, do it, but don't get stuck. Like, don't keep doing it thinking that's the only option you have.
Yeah.
There are better things like in the market that will help your professional growth and career down the line. Even pay you better money, really,
Absolutely.
you know, other than care. So do care if you have to.
I mean, it's a
but
means
when
to
it's
an
time,
end.
when it's
exactly.
time, you need to leave and get a better, and there are better jobs out there. Now your daughter is in primary school, right? And then you had to go through certain processes to get her, you know, into that primary school.
Yeah.
What did you do? What was like the process for you moving from like that nursery stage into a primary school?
So it wasn't exactly complicated per se, but it was me having to like do research to say, okay, what are the good primary schools? Because it's free doesn't now mean that you should just put your child anywhere. Do you get, like, still make sure that, okay, what is the ranking of the school that you're sending your child to? What are the things that she will learn there? You know, that kind of thing. So she was in nursery. I remember saying to myself that in nursery, she didn't know how to write her name. Do you get, but she could like see it and say, oh, that's my name, Darcy me. But she couldn't write. Do you get? And I was a bit worried that this one that she's not going to primary school, she cannot read yet. That's what's going on. Do you get? But she has done, I would say, 2 months now in primary school. She can write her name. She can read now. I sent you.
I had that. I was
So I'm like, okay, I now said to myself, is the quality of the private school that I chose for her, because I remember having to do research that, okay, good schools in Reading.
Yeah.
And then saying, okay, I will rank them, because you have to fill out a form when it's time for your child to go to primary school. Like, you fill it out for the town that you are in.
Yeah, because that's important, because you can. There's only a lot of schools you can send your child to because of the place
because of where you live.
So you can't just wake up and, like, in Nigeria, like, you can be living in one location and
send your child to a different state or something. No,
but that doesn't happen.
Different.
Like here, you have to send them to the schools in your vicinity,
especially if it's like a day school, so as in like no boarding school or anything. So because of that, I was like, okay, what are the good schools here in Reading? And then I ranked it. I also picked a school that is close to Reading, but in terms of like the distance, it was like a 12-minute drive. So I was like, okay, not too bad. So it was them being able to like look at like the school's websites, their curriculum, say, okay, I like what I think I see here, and then fill out the form. So there's a form that I think it comes out, I think you have the deadline to submit the form is like January or so. So I had already done research in October, November, so I was ready. Like I was just waiting now, okay, once the portal opens up, I'll just send in my application and then just know that I was done. And then you now have to wait a couple of months. I think I had to wait till May before like everybody's name now comes out. But you now have to wait for the government to release the list and say, okay, your child has been allocated to this school. So I had 4 options. My daughter got into her second, as in like the second option. She didn't get the first, because the first is very competitive. Like even though it's free, like everybody wants to go there. Do you get?
But it's more like NYSC, right? You pick the schools that you want,
and then
you don't select the exact. You're not you want deciding the school you want your child. The government does that.
And even then, you can have that 4 options. But if the schools are oversubscribed, meaning a lot of people have applied to those schools, you will get this school in your catchment area. So catchment area means where you live, like 5 minutes walk away. There are schools everywhere pretty much. So catchment area, I didn't pick school in as in like where we live, because I was like, no, I want good ones, So I have heard of some people that even with their 4, they didn't get into any of the 4. It was now the catchment school, as in where they live, that they got. So it still happens that because it's free, they just say, okay, these ones, no, and then they just put you. So it is still a case of luck. If you know you want your child to go to a particular school and it's like private, then you can afford to pay it. But caveat also, there are some private schools that are so competitive that you have to write exams and then you have to pay so much. And even then, your child may still not get it. So it is doing your research to find out.
And pray to God, Daddy.
And pray, because I prayed.
Because that's it. Okay. We are going to take our final questions now. But before we do, just very quickly, tell us about like you and your husband planning your schedules to pick your daughter from school, then drop her off in school and stuff like that. Like, what do you do? Because you're still working now, aren't you? So.
All right. So,
if you were coughing like this last year, I would have run away.
I know, because
I know, right?
I don't do like this.
I won't do anything. I'm like, see you ladies, bye.
Like, are you sure you don't want to do some COVID test?
It's a good time to be alive and not to worry about
true.
God.
Bless you.
Even a normal cough.
Thanks.
After you done this, you come.
I know, right?
By the
you now come back.
I just had to.
All right. So planning
sharp.
with her is I have to be in the office twice a week. So we wake up at the same time every day, Monday to Friday. Wake up at 6:15, between 6:15 and 6:30. I get her ready. I get myself ready. If I have to go to the office, and I leave. I've done this thing. So school starts the regular school time. You can start dropping off the kids from like 8:40, but I'm like, that's not going to work because I start work at 9. So I have enrolled her in a breakfast club. Breakfast club starts at 7:30. So you can drop your child in school from 7:30 if you know that you have to start work at 8 or you have to commute and stuff like that. And then school closes at, I actually don't know the time. I think they had 3 or 3:30. But I'm still working.
Yeah.
So I've enrolled that in after school club as well. So that
All
one
the
is
clubs in this life, you have to be going.
take advantage of this because it helps you.
Yeah. But do you pay extra money for it?
Yes, yes. So the breakfast and the after school club you have to pay for it, but the actual school time is free.
Okay.
Do you get?
Okay.
So she's in club till 6 o'clock. So I can.
Then
So I would
pick up.
close at 5:30 and then I would just drive to the school to go and pick her up. Yeah.
Okay, sweet. So, final questions now. Over to you, Tolu. This question is for £1 million. I'm joking.
Sign me up.
Joking.
Sign me up.
Okay,
I just want to be a sugar boy. I don't want to work in this life.
Okay. You're an adult. There's nothing like
please.
that.
I want to be a full-time house husband anyway.
Hey, Uncle Madam position
Exactly.
is...
Okay, madam position
Oh
is
my
appealing.
God.
I don't want.
What would be your advice to new students or people, relocating to the UK using the admission pathway?
If you are single, good luck. If you are married,
How do you mean good luck?
you will suffer.
What do you know you suffer?
Exactly.
I suffered. It is what it is. Okay, if you are single and you have all your bills paid,
Okay.
or you have a family who can sponsor you, or you have a scholarship, there's nothing to worry about.
Yeah.
If you are single and you have none of the things I've just mentioned, you will work.
You work hard, which is...
And it is very difficult to work so hard and then excel at work, at school.
Yeah.
People say what I did was incredible. I agree. I literally had no life. It was work, library, class. Work, library, class. Work, library, class. The only time I recreate is gym. I'm in the gym every morning or late at night. I had no social life. And I did that for like 13, 15 months. So it was tough. It was very tough. And I said earlier how I had to repay a lot of money. Now imagine if it was 2 of you, if you are married. And I highly recommend for people who are married, do it together. One person can work 20 hours a week and then school, and they don't have to think all about making all the money. While the other person is working 40 hours a week or more, and that gives you 60 hours worth of work weekly.
And more
That
household
helps you.
income.
Exactly, more household income. You can pay off everything you need to pay off in time. Your tuition is done and you can relax. So it's easier. But if you are not yet married now, should you kill yourself? Hell no. Hell no. So what can you do? There are a lot of scholarship options out there. Check them out. Chevening, Commonwealth. I mean, those are alternatives for you. I didn't get any because of the course I wanted to study. Right? I would have applied. So but it doesn't work for my courses. But if it does, check it out. It might work for you. If not, don't be like me. Don't just, I'm depressed, go and apply. It may not work for you the way it worked for me. Save money. Save a lot of money before you come. If you can take 6 months to a year to save, fine.
And plan.
Plan properly. Don't do what I did. It may not work for you. You know, I think that would be it. But and now when you get here, I've given a few nuggets earlier as well. Try something that will allow you get internship opportunities. Try to build your network as quickly as possible. Don't get stuck in the rat race of warehouse care job. Working in the restaurant. Don't get stuck in that. Once you get stuck, it becomes super difficult to get out of it. So don't get stuck in it, and then just focus on other things that can help you grow.
That's
open
really good.
church remain. Okay, so your last question would be, what would be your advice to people coming into the UK with kids and maybe on a dependent visa as well, and then they'll be working working moms, working dads, how do they combine their jobs with family life? What would be your
my advice would be, if you can come with your mom, that would definitely help, really, because the kids know her.
Really?
Yeah. But if you can't do that, I would say get a job as soon as possible. Then get childcare. It's not cheap, but the experience that you get because you are working, it will help you grow eventually. Like, you would then be able to get a better job after you get more money. But I would say that if you can get help, do. also the spouses should also be like extremely supportive, because even though one person is in school, the other person needs to ensure that the purpose that we're here in the country is not, as in like, doesn't go wrong. So if the person is in school, right, make sure that that person is going for their lectures on time and they're not having to worry about, oh, how are we going to take care of the child. So make sure that the home front is solid, and do what you need to do to make sure that the home front is solid. So if it's that at that time you don't have a job, make sure that you're home and you are in charge.
You are holding everything together.
And then if you then have a job, make sure that you have the right support system. So if it's, be it your mom or your husband's mom that's there, or you have a childminder or a nanny or nursery, just make sure that you are able to do what you have to do without having to now think, okay, my family is suffering. No. Yeah.
Should we open a ministry?
Yeah, no, serious.
Rema ministry. Oh my god, I think that was really loaded.
Yeah.
Omo, should we package this interview for sales? Like one view, £200.
Yeah.
Joking, guys, but really thank you, Oyin and Tolu, for your time today. Guys, you have heard it. This, you won't get this anywhere in the market. This is just, it's loaded. I'm even wondering if you know, this can go all into like one interview, because it's like an hour or so long. And it's really rich. Like at some point I'm just like, I just get quiet and I'm listening like, oh more this nuggets. But yeah, you guys, you have heard from Tolu and Oyin today. Just what I believe is, nothing is impossible.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Once you have a plan and you're ready to work towards that plan, God will just help you and prosper your ways. But you can't have a plan and not work towards it. Like there's no miracle that will happen. Like if a miracle will happen, it will happen on something you've already started working on. God will not work in a vacuum. You know, he will bless the work of your hands. He will bless something that you've already... So if it's to go and start applying for that admission now, start it. If it's to apply for that job now, start applying. If it's to you know, just take those baby steps and you will get it. We all want to jackpot, you know, you want better economic conditions, but it's also hard work. Even if you're in Nigeria or you are in any other country, you also work hard, like to live, literally. Like, so even if you jackpot, and don't let someone tell you, oh, it's really so hard, or you can't do nothing. It's hard everywhere, literally. Like, it's hard everywhere. You need to work to get what you want.
I want to say something. So the men that come, right, husbands, is different here than in Nigeria. In Nigeria, we already have like maids and there's always help.
Yes.
But here, you have to help your wife. So if it's that you're gonna learn how to cook, so that it's not like the whole domestic responsibility is not just on the woman alone. Because it is tough taking care of a child alone without now having to sort out the house, you know. Like, so when you're coming, have that mindset of, we're going to rough it together. Not you're going to sit down and fold your legs as usual as it was in Nigeria. No, it's completely different here.
It's different. It's good to say that, because men go to pick the kids, you know, from school.
My husband does that.
Off at their like extracurricular activities. So that's really key, really key. Okay, guys. Well. Personally, I've enjoyed this interview. Let's not even lie. Kama jale. Yes.
Let us not lie.
Let us not steal or lie. So thank you so much for watching this episode on my channel. Please do not forget to share, like, and subscribe. Do not forget to pass the message on to other people. I will link, you know, Oyin's shopping page, but it's shop it's Oyin Lolu's on Instagram. And Tolu, what's your Instagram handle? Eligible Bachelor?
Tolu Davis _
You can reach out to them if you want to ask any questions, and you can also put down your questions in the comment section below. I'm sure they will also be reading, and if there's anything, you know, you need answers to, they can come in and answer your questions. So again, guys, do not forget to like, subscribe, and share. this video with your friends. Tell us what has been your own Japa experience, or what has been like your relocation experience or culture shocks since you came into the UK or even went to other countries. Let us know, and I'll see you the next time I come here. Don't forget to be a better version of yourself by the next time I see you. It's ciao from me and from Oyin and Tolu.
Obrigado.
Bye guys. Ciao.